Hey guys, welcome back to the Bro Show. We are breaking down a sports event that happened this week. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get on with it. Hey guys, what's up? We are breaking down the Michigan versus Michigan State game. The score was 49-0. Michigan State was 0 points. Michigan with 49. But I'm here with Joey. What was your kind of thought on the game?
Overall, it was a good game. I think they needed to both sides needed to just realize that, hey, we understand that it's a rival game, but uh, there's you just got to go out there and fight for it. Michigan held their own, did what they were supposed to do, and got the win. But not only did they get the win, they got the shutout win, which is incredible. But State needed to just at halftime needed to pull themselves together and just say, fight, fight, fight. Doesn't matter. We need to get some points on the board. And that didn't happen. But overall, it was a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did you watch it?
I did. I
Good.
loved the game. Let's kind of get right into like the stats of the game.
Yeah, I'm
The
down for
the
that.
total yardage in the whole game. Michigan with 477 total yards. Michigan State with only 182 yards, which is mind blowing amount of yardage.
And
That's
do you know
that's
why?
three
Do you know
times.
why that is?
I know one of the reasons JJ McCarthy, right there.
There you go. There's your
JJ
answer.
McCarthy. That is one of the main reasons why. Also, but not just him. We do have I cannot think
Two
of his
others
name.
that played.
I can't think of my name off.
Two others. So Jack Tuttle played
Yes,
and
Jack Tuttle, there
Jaden
he is.
Dingell played.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe they'll listen to this podcast. That would be interesting. If these
Imagine.
guys, it would be really cool. You get JJ McCarthy to listen to your podcast. That's
That would
crazy.
that would be amazing. I
That would be
love that guy. I
awesome.
love that
But
guy so
anyways,
much.
no.
But
They Michigan had three quarterbacks that played in the game on Saturday. Um, and then there were also Michigan State only had two quarterbacks. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. But
yeah.
if you didn't know this, um,
hmm
Michigan played all of their players on Saturday.
I did
All
actually see that.
74,
That was
all 74 players
in
that went on with them to Spartan Stadium
which is
played.
insane.
Oh yeah.
Making a shutout game right there, which is just wow. By playing all the two, but I will say, the Michigan for like because we were getting. Let's go back into the yardage. Um, Michigan's passing, they had a total of 357 yards. All of the
That's
quarterbacks passage
crazy.
combined. Um, but Michigan's rushing had a 120 yards, which wow, that kind of did make up their total yardage, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just great yardage, or like just
From both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball
both
had
sides of
good
the ball,
yardage.
great yardage. But I will just basically three times more yardage with and let's get into the time really fast. Michigan had the ball for 34 minutes and 31 seconds. Michigan State only had it for 25 minutes and 29 seconds. And having three
Hmm.
times the yardage in only 10 minutes, little bit less than 10 minutes of having the ball more is just crazy to me. What's your
Oh
like take
yeah.
on that?
Well, and again, I'm no sports reporter, no sportscaster. I'm none of that. I just this is how I not cope, but I'm a fan. I'm more than a fan. I I do my research. Now, if you look at the total yardage in the time, you can tell the yards. We can also tell the time on each yard. I'm not going to get into that detail. That's grave detail. I'm not going to get into. But Michigan
Yeah.
again had 34 34 and a half minutes with the ball and 400 or 34 and a half minutes complete in the whole game with the ball with 477 yards. That is incredible.
In
I can't
insane.
imagine what State was thinking when they looked at the
Mhm.
stats at the end. They were like, uh,
Yeah.
hey guys, we didn't we did you guys see the stats? This is terrible. This
Yeah,
is just
it's
terrible.
just
Actually, have you seen those videos where the coaches get like really mad? Like
yeah. I have
not
seen
like
that.
when they get disappointed.
I have seen
Those
that.
are funny.
But let's get back into the kind of yardage stats, kind of just mainly on the field. Um, Michigan State had 2 turnovers, with Michigan having 0. But
And
those
why is that reason? That's my question.
okay,
That's going to be the big question of the day. Why?
I think honestly Michigan's placement, the way that Michigan put themselves on the field, they just like knew where to go to get that interception there. But one of those turnovers, that pick six,
Amazing.
amazing play.
Can we talk about the pick six here for a second? Because
Yes,
I just want to
100%.
I want to isolate that for a second. Um, Mikey Samer still he read the play so well. If you go back and watch the video, he read that play so well.
Oh, so well, yeah. Um,
He saw the
mhm.
offender move, and he's like, "Whoa, hold on, that ball's coming over here." Catches it, but he runs down, clear as day. An offensive lineman missed him, which is incredibly funny.
Yeah, and
But
after
go ahead.
I will say after the touchdown, 4 flags went down on the play.
I thought it was three. Was it three?
3 or 4. I
was-
want to
it was
say
three.
I
There were
want to
three.
say 4,
There were
but
three
it was
flags.
3. Okay, 3 flag. Yeah, 3 flags.
Three
thrown. I am
flags.
looking at it right now. 3 flags thrown. Wow. Just
Yeah, and it wasn't even. And when they miscalled it, they thought
did,
Samer still
which
was out.
with 3 flags going down on a missed call. That is insane. Not bad on the refs at all. I'm just saying
No,
that
but did
he
you
made it
see
there
the
is
actual
crazy.
call?
I
Did
did.
you see the actual call though?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they ejected the player for that. That was fair. That was a fair
Very.
judgment there.
Yeah.
But overall, the defense just nailed it with having Mike Morris, who is now playing for Seattle. He hasn't played much for Seattle, but he's over in Seattle playing. You got Aiden Hutchinson, a Detroit Lion, a Michigan man playing for his home team is incredible.
Yeah. Round of
David
applause for him.
Ojabo playing for Baltimore right now. It's incredible. These guys kind of held that defense, that frontline defense together for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I just would love to see Ojabo. Not this is non-college related, but I want to see Ojabo, Hutchinson, and Morris all on one team. The defense would be dominant.
The defense, yes, 100%
Defense.
dominant.
And we could talk about State's defense and looking at their defense. They just needed to
Yeah.
bunker down and just fight,
Yeah.
but they lost it.
Mhm.
And you can tell with their first downs. Let's look at the first downs here for a second.
Yeah, I was about to
How
say
many
that,
first
yes,
downs?
first downs.
How many first downs did State have?
State had only 10 first downs compared
Okay,
to
now,
Michigan's 28.
There you go. Look at the comparison. That is what it is. 28 first downs to 10 first downs is, to me, is blowing them out of the water. It's blowing you out of the water.
Yeah.
I can't go anything past that. It's just crazy. There's
honestly is very, very crazy. Yeah.
This game it's a rival game, and I want to take a second to isolate this. This is a rival game. You know, they schedule this rival game every year for a certain time for a certain reason. Okay, we know it's a rival game. They see the schedule come out, rival game. They know that rival. Okay, we know when that rival game is, so we have a week to prepare for that rival game. So when that rival game comes, they're ready.
Yeah, and I want to say this rivalry has been going on for many years.
116.
That is
not to be exact, but I think that's what they said. 116.
That is insane. How long the rivalry is just kept going on and on. But I think Michigan has most of the wins, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I would see. I think it's back and forth though.
Yes, because how long it's gone, how much the teams have changed, how much the coaches have changed, the players have changed, the whole team has changed in that amount of time. so much different. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, no, I
just so
got it,
much
I got it.
change, that you
Yeah,
can't really say, oh yeah, Michigan's had this much or whatever. You probably can get down to a technical standpoint saying, oh yeah, Michigan has one
yeah,
more game won or whatever, or Michigan State has two more games won or whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
No, I get it.
yeah,
Well, now I don't know if you know this, but Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan. Yeah, you know that Jim Harbaugh went
I
to
did
Michigan.
see
He
that.
played
Yes,
quarterback.
yes,
He's now coaching Michigan. Well, State's head coach went to Michigan State. I don't know if he played on their football teams, but he went to Michigan State. So it's really cool because both head coaches went to those respective schools and are now coaching their schools. It's crazy to me. That's crazy.
yeah. All right, yeah. Let's take a minute. Let's look at the quarterback. Let's look at everybody's stats throughout the whole game. First, let's
I'm
start
up
off
for
with
that.
quarterbacks, not quarterbacks. That would be weird.
Quarterbacks?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Um,
It's a new position. Why didn't you tell me about that? Well,
I forgot to tell
it
you.
is Halloween season.
It is. But
Man,
no.
they must be good players.
JJ McCarthy. Oh my God, he has got to be one of my favorite quarterbacks on college football right now. He is just such a good player, nice guy. During his interviews, just so happy, so energetic, just helping his teams, mental, to win these games, to push through, even though they are 8-0. But I think he has a big part in this for keeping everybody going. And I will say, let's start off with his yardage, 287 yards that game, which is just insane. Which that did make up over half, just a little over half of Michigan's yardage for the whole game.
Oh yeah, well
Which
over.
yes, mostly that will happen obviously with the quarterback, but
Eh,
it's just insane.
And if you look at his touchdowns, he had 4 touchdowns. Now,
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy has never had 4 touchdowns in one game.
No.
So that was a new record for him when he had 4 touchdowns in one game. That was incredible. Break a record while playing your division, while playing your rival.
Also, JJ McCarthy did not play the whole game nonstop.
No.
They obviously they played their whole team out, which is just insane, using their whole team again. But they did use all of their quarterbacks. He did not play the whole game. Just wow.
Well, and he already had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns.
It was time to pull him.
No one else did get a touchdown, unfortunately. I do kind of feel bad for those guys, but still, 4 touchdowns is insane.
Well, 4 passing touchdowns.
4 passing touchdowns. Yes. I should clarify.
So,
my apologies.
Clarify there.
Yeah. But let's go over to Michigan State's. Obviously their yardage is not as much.
No, and Kaiten
touchdowns.
Hauser didn't have a good game. He only had 101 yards. Okay, whatever. But let's look at Kaiten Hauser. He's a young quarterback, freshman.
Which is insane for being a starting line quarterback with 100 yards this game.
I could be wrong. He could be a redshirt freshman. But anyway.
Oh, I didn't even think about that there.
Yeah. Anyways, so what did he do? It's his second game. That was his second game to start. Okay, so he started the game before. He started this game. So now take a look at that and see. There's something.
I'm gonna bring up something really, really fast about Kaiten Hauser. Throughout the whole season, he has 392 yards, which 2 passing touchdowns, which compared to other quarterbacks, I wouldn't say the best. Pretty good for a freshman. We can say that there. But yeah, he did really good. I will say that. Even though they did not get any touchdowns, he still did a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did throw that pick 6 there. For Michigan.
Depending on when in the game.
It was on the 28th point. Right before that did not count with
Third
the
quarter.
Third quarter.
That was third quarter. I think he was in then. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It could have been Sam Leavitt, but I don't know when he left, when they pulled him.
Yeah.
But interesting point about Caton Hauser. He coming up with the allegations that Michigan had about a couple days before the game, he decided that he was going to go to the sideline every time a play call
Yeah, on
because he didn't want Michigan to steal.
which I that actually did make me laugh a little bit. I'm gonna say that
Yeah.
it did, because the way they thought Michigan was stealing their plays, not really stealing them, but seeing their signs and everything, and
Yeah.
still Michigan crushing them 49-0.
It's
Just
crazy.
just wow, wow. Let's get a little bit into rushing here.
I'm doing for that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Michigan State's rushing here for a second. While we're
Yeah.
on the topic of Michigan State, their rushing wasn't the greatest.
No.
And it all comes because
Sadly.
intensity.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't intense on their rushing.
Mm-mm.
Their number one rusher was Nathan Carter, and he had 17 carries for 36 yards, averaging 2.1 yards per carry, and his longest was 10. The longest carry they had, or rushing they had, was with Sam Levitt, and he had 14.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, that's just sad on Michigan State. We can't talk about their rushing because it's that bad. But we can
It
go to
is very
Michigan's side
bad.
and talk about their
And
rushing all day.
we could technically talk about their rushing yardage. Yeah, Caton Hauser did minus 12 yards. Is quarterback not part of their rushing? I just wanted to bring that up there a little bit.
Yeah, that's called poor quarterbacking.
It
right
is.
there.
It is really, honestly. But yeah, if you want to hop over, let's hop over to the Michigan side.
Yeah, I want to talk about their rushing. I know quarterbacks can rush big. That's good for them.
Yeah.
Some quarterbacks can't, especially in the NFL. Some can, some can't. And McCarthy did run, so which is good.
8 yards. 8 yards. Not
That's
much.
not bad.
So,
His longest was 16. So
I'm not to be rude to Caden Hauser, but he at least got
we
into
know
the
who the more
positives. He at least got into the positives there, which
we know who the more athletic quarterback is.
yeah. Well, I'm not saying that Caden Hauser isn't athletic, but
Yeah.
it's just bad play by him there, honestly. But
Yeah.
when that did happen, but yeah, let's go to the total rushing yards of Michigan was 120 yards total with
Crazy.
their rushing yards, which insane. I don't know if I brought up their passing yards, which was 357. So those two really did make up the total
Bulk of the-
yardage, which
yeah.
was rushing everything. Obviously there, but yeah, let's hop over onto receiving first.
No, I want to talk about Blake Corum here for a second because this is an
we didn't even
interesting
talk
guy.
about him. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Blake Corum. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
love that guy.
look at Corum. Let's talk about Corum last year. Corum was injured last year. He came out of a game. I don't remember what game he had to leave.
I can't
He got an
remember off the
injury.
top of my head.
I think it was an ankle injury, and he had to leave
Yeah.
the game. Couldn't play for the rest of the season,
Very
which
sad.
they needed him in that TCU championship game.
Yeah.
Anyways, by summer of this year, he was ready to play. He was
Mhm.
healed up. He was ready to go. He'd been working on his strength, getting it back.
And-
With this game,
Mm-hmm.
he had 15 carries for 59 yards, averaging 3.9 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
And-
With a touchdown. He had the first touchdown
Yes.
of the game. Did you
Mhm.
see that touchdown?
I did see that.
That was
fucking
incredible.
touchdown. And I do want to say something with that injury, coming back, snapping back that fast, and playing how he is playing now is amazing. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
And-
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
Totally.
I think the more time that heals over the end of the season next year, I think he is going to be a beast. Honestly, I think he is
In the
going
NFL,
to
yeah.
be yes, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
He is going to be a beast if he does choose to go to the NFL.
Well, and his backup who had to take over last year was Donovan Edwards.
yeah.
Well, Donovan Edwards, he's having a rough year so far. He had only 6 carries, for his longest was 9 yards, and he's having a rough year. He has the touchdown, but still, he's having a rough year. He can't exactly just play.
Yeah, and I do not
So,
know if you know his total yardage this season. Do you have an eyeball? I have it up here. I just didn't know if you knew it all.
is it in triple digits?
Yes, it is very triple digits.
Okay, he's got to be well over 130 yards.
He is at 605 yards this season.
Oh, wait, Corum or Donovan?
Corum.
Wow.
I know. And
that tells you
which I'm
why
gonna
they use him.
I have to. I really do have to. On the topic of him, I have to bring up last year's yardage. 1,463 yards, which a
That's
total of
insane.
18 touchdowns is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful there. And I
yeah.
really had to bring that up last year. And this year, the way he's going, don't think he will
He can
break that. But
no. I could see him going for Heisman though. Heisman,
I really could see that.
Heisman. I can see Heisman. Um, I think so. You want to talk about receiving here for a second?
I would
Um,
love to. Yeah, I would love to get on the topic of receiving.
yeah. Let's talk about receiving. Receiving in the game in general was pretty decent. It was a not cooler night, but it was 40s here at the
Yeah,
game, and
it.
so it was a little cooler. But those guys are used to it. Sometimes they're used to it. When you're playing here, when you're playing in Michigan, it's cold. It gets
Yeah,
cold on October, November, so
that's
they
why
gotta know.
I do feel kind of bad for those receivers though. The cold hands there.
Hmm.
Hopefully they're because the cold hands. Once your hands get stiff, you're you
Yeah,
know
but if you keep them in the gloves, and then they got those pocket things they can stuff their hands in.
yeah,
Yeah,
those things now. Yeah.
yeah. So you pick which team you want to talk about receiving.
Let's go straight to Michigan State because I feel like we have been doing a lot on Michigan. Let's go over to
Yeah.
Michigan State. Stay here for a minute.
Okay, they're receiving. They did pretty good on Saturday. They were a little fumble-ish on some of their plays. Um, that's okay. Room for
Yeah.
improvement, as I like to say. Malik Carr had 2 receptions. He was the leading receiver there for 32 yards, averaging a 16 yards per carry, and his longest was 21 yards. Everyone had there were some people who had two receive receiving catches, and
Yeah.
others had one. Um,
Which is
but the
way
lowest,
better than zero. I will say
the
that.
lowest receiving catch yard was 2 yards, done by Tyrell Henry. It's insane. That guy, it was that's crazy. They had 133 receiving yards.
Yeah,
That's
that made up
and they
almost all of
and
their
they've come a long
yards
way.
there.
They had a good season last year, but this year they're just along with going on with what happened with losing their head coach at the beginning of the season due to allegations and stuff like that. So now they have their a different head coach, and so they've got to rebuild
Yeah.
their trust in him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Michigan did the same thing. Look at the beginning of the season with them when they lost Harbaugh due for what the first 3 games,
Yes.
which were non-conference games, and they still won.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy.
Yeah, and I would love to stay on the side of Michigan State, but there is sadly not a lot to talk
Yeah,
about.
we can't
They
talk about them.
they're just performance. They need to really step that up. So there's something they need to have something to talk about. They're just
Yes.
they're just they're a great team, but they have a lot of room that they need to improve on. They need what I'm trying to say here. But
Yes.
let's move over to Michigan receiving. Um, just wow, looking at their stats
Yeah.
right now. What is your thought on that?
Well, it seems like a regular Saturday for Michigan receiving.
It does, doesn't it?
357 yards for receiving, 28 receptions, 25 was the longest, 12.8 averaging carries per yard, 4 touchdowns. I mean, you can't get anything better than that. Honestly, you can't. AJ Barner and Colston Loveland here in this game, they really showed that their true grit for the game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I want you
100%
to
there.
talk to me about Colston Loveland here for a second. I'll read you his stats. I want you to tell me what you saw in him on Saturday. He had 4 receptions, 79 yards,
Which,
19.8
yeah,
average carry.
yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns, and his longest was 22 yards. Tell me about Colston Loveland and what you saw in him in the game.
Honestly, just I just saw a great player. Honestly, he has so much potential. Him being a sophomore, he's gonna be here, beyond Michigan, hopefully, for
Hmm.
a little bit more time. He is just a great player. Honestly, that um 2 touchdowns. That is just round of applause for him. There, that was perfect.
I have a question. Why did he get those 2 touchdowns?
He is just, well, number one, the touchdowns that he did get, just perfect. Why he got them, great. He's just a great player. He knows how to get that, how to get the ball in his hands, hold it there, and get it in the end zone. You know, he just knows what to do. In well, he one of his points during their 22-yard pass,
Hmm.
um perfect, just a beautiful catch. I don't know if you remember seeing that beautiful catch there.
I think I do.
um and just, yeah, just a perfect touchdown there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. AJ Barner, 99 yards for 8 receptions, 12.8 yards
Yeah,
average for a touchdown. His longest was 22.
beautifully
He
oversaw.
had so many open opportunities,
Yeah.
but he only had one. Talk to me about why he only had that one open. The many other opportunities, but his one was amazing.
Shoot, I honestly, why the one touchdown he got was just a beautiful touchdown there. He I can't even really explain it.
Hmm.
I don't really know how to put it into words. It was just,
Yeah,
it was a good touchdown.
I get it.
Um, Perfect,
And I want to talk
honestly.
about I want to talk about Roman Wilson. You've seen his performance this year so far, haven't you?
Yes, yes, I have. Yeah.
Amazing performance, and he's from Hawaii. If you guys didn't know that, he's from Hawaii. Uh,
I didn't even know that. I did
yeah,
not know he was from Hawaii.
um, was it last year? Yeah, last
I
year
thought
when
that
we
was just
played
fake, honestly.
Hawaii. No, when he played when
Yeah.
Michigan played Hawaii, he in Michigan due to a rain delay game. That was a
Oh,
good game. I watched it.
yes, I
Yeah, it was.
do remember that game.
Yeah,
Yep.
you remember that game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So Roman Wilson this year already has 10 touchdowns
Mhm.
on the season, which is incredible. But he was a little laid back on Saturday, which I kind of thought was odd for him. Two receptions for 50 yards, averaging 25 yards per carry, a touchdown, but his longest was 25. He had the longest
Mhm.
yardage within the Michigan receiving here. So I
Yeah.
think Michigan's receiving did pretty
And
good. But it just again,
mhm.
State's just got
and
to pound on their
yeah,
receiving.
and I think we have spent a lot of time in receiving right now. Let's head down to defense. Again, there's not really much talk about defense.
But
There
what
is.
side of defense?
Let's go
That's
Michigan
that's the
State.
big.
We've been on
Okay,
Michigan a lot. Let's go Michigan State. Um,
all right.
okay, Michigan State. Their defense was okay.
Body.
It was very, yes. Michigan did find a way to get past them, get those touchdowns in, but Michigan State did play a very, very good defense, I will say. But
Yeah, they did. 79 TOTs. Um, it can't. There was only what one sack. There was one sack throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, so
For
that tells
Michigan State,
you where
yes.
your defense is. Yeah, Michigan State only had one sack. That tells you what your defense is like. So now
Yeah.
you got to go back to your film room. You got to look at what you did wrong. What can you change for next week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, that is, yeah, just
it was
only
just
one
sad.
sack to me is insane. Honestly, I thought they could have got more if they just played just a tad bit different. But Michigan just read Michigan State like a book. Honestly,
Yep.
their Michigan State's defense is they're a good defense. I will say that, but just
Yes.
not good enough. Not
Yes.
to beat Michigan. They good defense, but just not there. And that's honest. That's
Yep.
honestly that's really only
We can't talk about State's performance really
no,
because
but
it was that bad.
it was quite bad. But let's move over
Um.
to Michigan just for a little bit. We
Yeah.
won't spend too much time. I will say though
Oh,
the
come on.
sacks. I know. I know. I will say
The
Michigan
sacks.
sacks, 3 sacks, not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Um,
Good sack percentage. I want to talk about a couple of guys on defense.
mhm.
Let's talk about our guy. What's his name? Who got our interception there on Mikey Samersdale?
Yes.
He's it. I don't know if you know this, but it was a couple years ago or was it last year? Either one. He was a wide receiver. Wide receiver. Yeah, wide receiver. Then he switched to defense,
Mm-hmm.
and he's amazing on defense. You got some guys on defense who read the plays well. Junior Colson, Will Johnson, Michael Barrett, Cam Good, T.I. Rod Moore. You got these guys, Makari Page, Mike Samersdale.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can't talk about. The front four are just laying it out on the line.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we can't say much about that, but again, the front four, who have they learned from?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question I'm asking you. So who have they learned from that front four? There's three people. There's only 3 people that would be famous for about that.
Yeah, honestly, well, it depends. Honestly, I don't even.
Well, the answer's right. It's not right in front of you, but
it is. But I don't. I know, but I don't know.
They played here for the last 2 seasons. Well, 2 of them did, and the last one played here last season. So, I mean, you got 3 defensive ends who showed that front line. This is what you got to do. Control those offensive linemen. Get around them. Go past them.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Hutchinson, who's now with the Lions. Ojabo, who's with the Ravens. Mike Morris, who's with the Seattle Seahawks. They taught those guys while they were here. Look, I'm going to step up and be a leader here. But I'm going to also show you what it is to dig in and get past defenses. That's the ultimate goal here. We could talk about defense all day, but the defense, it just shows in the numbers. It just shows in the numbers. 1 touchdown for the defense. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
let's
face it here.
Let's just do a quick little scan on the kicking side of everything.
Let's look at State's kicking because they had a rough time.
I'm going to say that very rough. Very rough.
Their kick return, they only had 1 kick return for 14 yards. That was
14.
it. That was they didn't get to punt. They didn't get to kick a field goal.
Because if they would have, I will say he probably would have got a point on the board for them.
Probably.
But there's really nothing to talk there. Let's just.
I mean, even their punting.
Yeah.
Even their punting was bad. He only had 7 punts, 328 yards, 46.9 yards, 1 touchback, 1 in the 20. Yeah, 52 yards was his longest. That's insane.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's scan over Michigan really, really fast.
Well, I guess we were on all of it. We returned the kick, we returned the punts, we kicked, we punted.
Yes.
Yeah, we did everything.
Yeah, perfect on just
So
perfect by the
talk to me
kicking team
about
there.
the return team, the kick return and the punt return teams. Tell me about those two guys. Give me their
Yeah.
numbers and tell me about what you saw in them
Okay, well let's
from the
first
game.
start off with kick return number 12 here. Um just
I don't know.
yeah,
What's his name? Samaj?
yeah.
Samaj
Yeah,
Morgan?
I didn't want to
We'll go
pronounce
with
it
that.
wrong. Yes.
I'm sorry, Samaj, if we said your name
Yes.
wrong, but
The yardage only 16. It's 16. Good. Good, good, good.
not bad.
Not bad. Could be better. Again, still beating Michigan State there with that by 2 yards, which is kind of crazy, but yes.
Yeah.
He performed pretty good today, or not today, during the game. He
Yeah.
did perform pretty good. Let's go ahead go over to the punt. Tyler Morris. Let's see number 8 here. He just good, good right there.
Yeah.
3 yards obviously, but um, yeah, no, performed pretty decent. Okay.
I agree.
He
The
could
kicking.
practice a little
Go
bit
ahead.
more. He
Yeah,
could probably
yeah,
get better, but there's there's potential. I do see
yeah.
potential.
Now this is my area of field. I'm in the kicking and punting side. That's what
Yeah.
I did that for a few years. Not in football. It was a different sport. But anyways, I played that for some kicking and some punting here. But the kicking team, we didn't do a field goal at all this weekend at the game,
Yeah,
which is
which
good.
good, very good actually. It does
Good.
sound bad, but very good.
But that means the offense is doing their job. 7
Yes.
for 7 on extra points, and every time got a point, which is really good on the kicker. There was no win, so it was even less of a factor. And then so James Turner did that, and has been doing good this season. He's been doing good ever since Jake Moody left.
Hmm. Yeah,
We'll have to do like an episode on just the kickers of like
just the
the
kickers.
NFL.
Yes. Okay, yeah,
Like
let's head back. Let's go to
I
kind of
wasn't. I didn't do the punting.
Oh, you didn't. Oh,
I
my
didn't do the punting.
I
We
apologize.
punted
I
4 times.
apologize. Let's go
You're
back.
no, you're good. You're good. I thought of something else, so I'd say
Yeah.
it. Anyways, 4 punts, 187 yards, 46 yards was the
Good
average.
punting there.
Longest was 52 yards. That's insane for a kicker. I'm just gonna tell you this now.
Mm-hmm.
52 yards is good for a kicker.
Good.
That means
Very
you're
good.
putting the yards, you getting them back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. 100%
back over to you.
there. Yeah, so I just want to kind of bring it because we've been going over all the stats of the game. I really am sad that there was not very much to talk about Michigan State. There was a lot to talk about Michigan. But I kind of want to bring it to how full and just the stadium in general, okay? Spartan Stadium, right? It was at 99% capacity. The capacity holds 75,005 people. Attendance was 74,206 people attended, which
That's crazy.
a packed stadium there, which
Well,
just
and you got to think the student section is pretty big.
it is. It is.
So,
But
uh,
still, that is a lot of people.
that
And
was a lot of people.
The Michigan State Stadium compared to Michigan Stadium, obviously a lot
Holds a lot
bigger,
more.
holds a lot more.
109,000.
Yeah, which is just crazy compared to their stadium, but
Insane.
yeah, obviously, but yeah, and also I did want to go over the controversy on the play taking. If Michigan actually was, or not play taking, but kind of seeing what plays they were doing by seeing their hands.
Sign stealing.
Sign stealing, yes. I wanted to kind of go over that. What was your thought on that? Like,
It
do you
could have been
think they
different.
actually did it, or do you
No,
think they were just?
I don't think. I think they're just picking on Michigan. I feel like they're just picking on Michigan. But if
Yeah.
it's true,
Me too.
Michigan
yes.
just needs to. Michigan just needs to just.
I mean, if Michigan beat them 49-0, they definitely aren't. They're just the more dominant team there.
Yes.
Overall.
Um.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think they just need to this is the second thing that's happened in Michigan this year. They just need to cool it with the media with this. Sorry media, but it's true. You can't just go after
Yeah.
a team
And
because of two things in a year.
also, I want to
Ridiculous.
go over. I don't know if you heard. I saw something on Twitter. A little rumor going around that the refs should have called more stuff, or shouldn't have called stuff on state. What is your thought on that? I don't know if you heard about that.
I did not. This is the first of hearing
Yes,
about it.
it was very little. It didn't get big. I just saw a little glimpse of just little rumors going around. Yeah.
Um, I think yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me personally, I think the refs
this is
did it
sad.
good.
They did a good job. The refs always do a good job. There are some calls that were like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Which,
but other
yeah,
times they know what they're doing.
and
Um,
yes, and I say why I say those refs did good that game is because the call on that pick six there, he
that was
obviously
beautiful.
did not go out of bounds. So good
No, even
thing
you
that they
could
did
see it in the
not call
grass when
that.
he pulled it up. Yeah,
Yes.
you could see it. I wanna let's set up. Let's kind of wrap this
Yeah,
episode
we do
up
got to wrap
here.
this up now.
We got to episode wrap this episode up, but I want to talk about next game, Michigan, Purdue. They get a bye week, which is nice. Get time
Very
to
nice.
rest,
Very
be
nice.
prepared for next game. They'll
Which
play the. Go ahead.
they need to make sure that they don't rest too much. They need to be
Yes.
practicing, even though it is a 2-5 team. There is a chance that they lose. There is always a chance
Yes.
that they lose.
Yep. And they'll play Purdue at home. Time is to be determined right now. But a game at home, it means your crowd's going to be hyping you. So
Yeah.
they got a little sense here. On the other hand, for Michigan State, um, they've had their bye week, so they're good. They'll play. They'll go over to Minnesota and play Minnesota, who had just won a game against Iowa. Um, so let's that'll be a game worth seeing
Yes,
who's
that
gonna
will.
who's gonna
Hmm.
win and who's not.
And I want to
Um,
bring up something really fast before we wrap up here. The tunnel.
uh,
What was your thought on the tunnel?
oh, they did better this year. Better this year.
Way
I
better.
I think they did better. Yes.
You did. I'm guessing
They.
you saw they let Michigan State go in.
Oh, I saw
Pretty
last
sure
year's
they
all.
went to their locker rooms before
Yeah.
Michigan went through. Um,
Yeah. Well, one of
yeah.
the guys last year, I don't know if you know this, one of the guys last year who
Yes,
got
I
hit and injured in the
didn't.
altercations last
Wasn't
year
it
at
a
Michigan Stadium.
stabbed? Didn't he get stabbed or
No,
something?
he got hit with a helmet in the head, bare head.
Oh, I thought it was something
So
worse. Okay.
no, he played in the game though on
Ooh.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really cool. He
I
played in
think
the
that
game.
is
He
very
said
brave.
he said it felt really good to beat. He said it felt really good to beat State.
Yes, very brave.
So
by him.
I'm happy for that. Other than that, I mean, overall thoughts. What do you hold on? Let's grade these games. Let's grade these games. Grade this game. Let's grade it 1 to 10.
1 to 10. I mean, Michigan side 10 out of 10. Michigan State, I'm gonna give them around a 3 on their performance. So
Okay.
they definitely they could have. I think they could have played a lot better and got a couple points. I don't think they could have beat Michigan, but
Okay.
I think that's more of a bias thing, you could say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just the way that they're playing, how much like JJ McCarthy versus Hauser. JJ McCarthy had more than double his yardage,
Yeah.
and 4 touchdown passes. So it's yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna rate that. Yeah. We'll have to do a different rating system next time. I just thought of 1 to 10. Yeah, Michigan always get number 10 here. In their games. This game really deserved a 10 out of 10. It could have gone higher, but there were a couple bumps in the road in the game. State, I'm actually gonna go lower. I'm gonna give State a 2 on
Okay.
this game.
Okay.
They didn't deserve a higher ranking than 2 from me. It's just because the way they played.
I can agree with that actually.
So
yeah.
overall, yeah. I'm gonna be watching the game. So everyone be prepared for the
Be watching
next,
out. Yes.
Michigan update on what we think of the game
Yes,
and how the game
we
went.
do try to come out with one of these podcasts against any sports topic of the week. We try to come out with one
Yes.
at least at like minimum 3 days after the game is done.
Yeah,
Um,
and now that we got baseball wrapping up, we've got NFL in mid-season, we got hockey just starting their season, and basketball is about to start their season. So be prepared for
more
more
of
and more.
these, yes.
Yes,
All
so
right,
maybe
but we
next
do
time I'm
have to be
thinking,
wrapping it up here. We don't.
yes,
Yes. Thank you guys for listening in. I hope you did enjoy. We will hopefully see you guys in the next podcast, okay? All right, see you guys.
and tell
Yeah,
your
make sure to
friends.
subscribe, tell friends. We will be starting up a
Get
YouTube
us out
soon. I
there.
cannot say any names because I do not know what names will be available for us to be using. But yes, we will be starting up a YouTube channel soon. So make sure to subscribe to that. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast right now. And thank you guys for listening in. Bye.
Bye.